Alright, YouTube, what's up? I know I'm doing a couple videos back to back, but I have some things I want to talk about, and while I'm sitting out here relaxing and just enjoying the world, I decided to go ahead and knock a couple videos out because I want to do a couple of follow-ups. Um, one thing that I talked about in the last video was my book club. So, this year I started book clubs because I moved to a different city. I'm now in Denver, and I was in San Antonio. In San Antonio, I was in a book club, and I had such camaraderie with these women, and I missed them so much. So, hey y'all. But I missed them so much, and I miss reading a lot. So I decided to go ahead and start my own book club. Right now, we only have a few members. Later on, as I get to know other women and understand them, because you don't want just anybody in your circle, okay? Because the things you might talk about in the circle could be personal. So I have a few women there that we trust, and we all learn from each other, older and younger women. Later on, hopefully we get more women that, will fit into our circle. I decided to start the book club, like I said, because I missed the women that I was with in San Antonio. I miss reading, I miss the camaraderie. And on top of that, I like for everybody to pick out their own month, pick out their own book that will read different books that we may not otherwise read. I'm just going to go over a couple of the books that we've read so far. And one of the books that I do not have with me, and that's because one of the ladies in the circle still has my book. Supposed to be reading over it, and be honest with you, I hadn't even finished reading the book, and that's how good it was getting. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first book that was chosen. Of course, I chose the first book since I started the book club, and that is Child of God by Lolita Fowles. This book, we read this in our last book club in San Antonio. I loved it so much. I'm going to tell you now, this book is a tad bit disturbing. It is, but it is so good. It is a page turner. You will not be able to put this thing down. Pretty much it's talking about family secrets, and can you pass that thing down generation to generation? Is a generational curse. This book I give you a little bit on just in case you decide to go read it. I don't want to give you the full spiel. Because, oh my goodness, when I tell you, when people started reading this thing, they was calling me every day or emailing me at work saying, girl, or calling me in the morning. I cannot put this thing down. People going to bed late, so busy page turning. This is a good book. So pretty much the generational curse is... let's see, I can't remember what you call it, but it's siblings sleeping with siblings, and stuff like that. It's passed down generation to generation. And then you got a lady in here. Oh man, I wish I remember. It's not Grace. Suki. Suki. She is from outside the family. She actually married into the family. She's from Louisiana, I believe. I want to say Mississippi, but one of those backwoods or whatever. And they say she's powerful with the voodoo stuff or whatever like that. And for some reason, I'm going to tell you, she was my favorite character. If you just happen to read this book, you might think, oh my God, this woman is crazy. But when I tell you this is a page turner, this is something you want to read. Like if you're into, black authors, this is a black author. And I'm saying she did a great job. She did a wonderful job. When I started reading, and this is by Southern Family, when I started reading this, it captures you from beginning to end. So I'm going to say that from beginning to end, I was captured. I could not put this thing down. I read it page to page. And so I could not wait to introduce it to my book club here, in the Denver area. So it is an older book. I hope you all get a chance to check this out. A few of the women, like I said, only a few of us women in the group, they have bought this book for themselves, bought more books for other women in their lives that love to read, and they're telling everybody about it. That's how good this book is. So Lolita Fowles, thank you so much for bringing us this book. I'm going to look for other books that you've written, but I was introduced to this book by one of the ladies in San Antonio, and I'm telling everybody else about it. This book is a page turner. It's great. The next book I don't have in my hand. It was called Uncommon Woman. So that God's Child was a March book, April book was Uncommon Woman, and one of my girlfriends did that book. That is a Christian-based book. I cannot remember the author. I do a newsletter, but unfortunately I don't have a newsletter with me. But it's called Uncommon Woman. This book is a Christian-based book, and it's called Uncommon Woman because it takes you a little bit extra as a woman, a little bit extra as a woman to do the right thing, to get on the path that's going to take you to higher ground. Okay, good examples in there, good prayers in that thing. It is a Christian-based book, like I said. But I'm going to say this: any religion, if you're a part of some kind of religion, anybody could take from that book. We have a couple of different women in our group that's not Christian. I'm Christian, but that took from that book and was able to apply to their life. So just because you're not Christian don't mean you can't check out that book. Go to your local library, check it out, just read over it. But there were some pretty good principles in there, about you being above whatever drama is going on in your life, anything. It has so many examples in it that I just, I can't wait to get my book back, Joni. So, yeah, I mean, make sure you check out that book if you're looking to change some things just within yourself. Everything is not everybody else's fault. Ladies, we have to look at ourselves, and men, but it is called The Uncommon Woman. So, that is a book that I advise you to check out, and thank you, Letitia, for that great book. People are hanging on our books. In fact, she lent her book to another lady in the club. She still has her book. Or maybe she gave it back, but she had a book for a minute. So what is it, March, April? So that was April's book. May book. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you know who this author is. It is Elin Harris, Basketball Jones. From what I understand, this is the last book that he wrote before he passed away. I have several of his books on my shelf, but I've yet to get to all of them. I got to a couple of his books, but this is, what I say, March, April? April's pick. Or, let me say, March, April, yeah. May's pick. You're wrong. I wish I had my newsletter. This is April's pick. I'm going to tell you this, it's a page turner. It's shocking, all of that good stuff. For those of you that read Elin Harris, you know that he's talking about brothers on the down low, which, his first book kind of scared me, as a straight woman. I'm looking at this thing like, hold up, man, you telling me me actually on down low, looking like they're straight, acting like they're straight, but you kind of get over there when you read this, and just become a fan of his books. Because his books are really good. Now this one is about, of course, a basketball star, as you can see, fabulous on the front of his cover. Basketball guy, he met the love of his life, which is another male. He met him in college, but he never wanted to come out and say that he liked men. Okay, met this man in college that tutored him, loved him to death, took care of him throughout his basketball career. Married a crazy lady that knew he was gay because of some kind of scandal popping off. But look at here, you got to read the book to get that information, baby. So yeah, it turned. The book was really good all throughout. You thought you knew what he was gonna do at the end, but you really don't. This book is really good. It's kind of suspenseful. It's I would suggest this for a ladies book club, or if you just want to get something on your own, just check that out. Go ahead and do that. Alright, the next book is Church Folk. I don't have that one on me because I lent it to another lady in the book club, Letitia, and she has not given it back. Now, I'm supposed to get the thing before I leave on Friday. I'm leaving on Friday, and I'm going to only have like a week and some change to read that. I like that back because I want to read it. I heard it's very funny. When I get that back, I'm going to do a small little review on it, so I'm not going to talk about it now. But for you Southern Baptists like myself, I hear that you would know the characters in that book, because if you're Southern Baptist like me, then you're very familiar. You're very familiar. So I'm going to do a review on that book, and I'm going to come back and let you know how it goes, what it's about. And the book that I picked for July, because, because June is coming up pretty fast. But July book is going to be Come On People by Bill Cosby. This book has been out for a while, and and Alvin Poussant, medical doctor. I heard this book caused a lot of controversy. I bought it way back when it first came out, but I'm just now getting through reading it. That's why I love book clubs, because you may have something on your shelf that you want to get to and you have not been able to get to it. So you can just throw it out there, and then guess what? Now you got to read it because you're hosting and you want to know what you're talking about. So I'm hosting July, and I picked Come On People, On the Path from Victims to Victor by Bill Cosby and Alvin Poussant. The reason I picked this book is because I started reading it. It is about the black community. And to be honest with you, it's about other communities too. As I started reading it, I realized this is just not about the black community. But, you know, I want to read that because I want us as a people to become aware of situations. I mean, I know a lot of black people got on Bill Cosby when he came out and said, "Look here, black folks, we need to come on, let's get real." And so far, what I've read, you know, some of it I like, and not that some of it I don't like, because I do like the concept in the book. But he's talking about a single parent, as a teenager. It needs to be talked about, but so far, you know, I've read maybe a third of the book, and I almost feel like I'm reading a parenting guide, you know, as a, you know, y'all watch out for this kid, make sure they're not doing drugs or drinking and having a good time and all this, and, you know, as grandparents you can do this, that, and the third. So I'm hoping that I get past this and into the actual community part of it all, because that's what I want. I want to get into the community part. I also want to hear about the children, yes, but the children in our community, how do we mentor them? Because I'm a mentor now. I want to hear about, you know, how do we mentor them? How, as a whole, do we change our community around and make our community better? You know, as a black community, you know. And like I said, I'm going to read this. I see that just in my, you know, my mind. I see it applying to every community. But I am reading from Come On People, which is talking about the black community. So I'm going to be reviewing this book after I finish reading it, which I will probably finish reading it here in June, hopefully, or the beginning of July, because I will be doing a lot. And I will come back and do a review on this. So I'm going to tell you where I get my books. I'm not sure if you, well, not this book. I bought this from Barnes & Noble. But these two books, the Basketball Jones, Child of God, and many other books I bought from Better World Books. I bought these books probably for like $3.95, $3.99 a piece. And you'll find a whole host of books there. The only thing I don't like about that site is you have to know what book you're looking for or what common names you're looking for, and then when you just do a common name, it's going to pull up 50 million books. But the good part is, like I said, $3.99, you can't beat that. And you also get free shipping. So, I mean, I know some of you love Amazon, but check out Better World Books, and I'm going to put that down below so that you guys can check that out. It's a wonderful site. It's recycled books. These books, actually, when I looked at them, they came from libraries, you know, and they're on my shelf. And hopefully, you know, the books that I don't really care for and that I know I won't read again, I'm probably going to start having myself and my book club donate to women's shelters. So, it's easy to start a book club. If you got a question on that, go ahead and let me know, and hopefully I'll think to do a video on how to start a book club. It's so simple, so easy. But if I remember, I will do a video on that, because I hope that we get back into reading, and it's contagious. I can tell you that when you start reading, it's contagious. So you guys have a nice night. I think this is my last video of the night, honey, but if I come back with something else, oh yes, I'm gonna do the video. So y'all have a good night. All right.